In this episode of How Does It Stack Up, we will be discussing the Powder Monkey Lift at Snowshoe, West Virginia. The lift is a Skytrack quad installed in 2023, which replaced one of Snowshoe's original chairlifts from its first season in 1974. In addition to accommodating one more person per chair than the triple chair it replaced, the new lift features closer chair spacing and a loading conveyor. On paper, this was a significant capacity upgrade to one of the most essential lifts on the mountain. However, in practice, the operations could use some improvement. One common issue I noticed with this lift during my last visit in January was the consistent slowdowns. This largely contributed to people not paying attention in the loading zone and falling onto the conveyor belt. Now, you may be thinking, it shouldn't be that hard to load the lift. You line up at the gates. When they open, you simply slide onto the conveyor belt, and then the chair gently picks you up due to its slower speed relative to the conveyor belt. Heck, Europeans use loading conveyors with no problem. Now, I have noticed that some lifts had their loading conveyors removed, either due to maintenance issues or because the loading queue setup required modifications, like the Grand Summit Express at Mount Snow and the Mountaintop Express at Vail. I hope that people adjust to the loading setup, as this is the first lift at the resort to feature a loading conveyor, so I'm sure the first few seasons were like a test run for this lift. It's nice that they picked a speed slower than the design speed to increase loading efficiency and minimize slowdowns, which I think they've done a great job with so far. However, it's still not my favorite simply due to the busy nature of this lift. In terms of how I would rank this lift compared to the others, I would place it above Grab Hammer and Ball Hooter, but below Flying Eagle, Western, and Soaring Eagle.